Hello students, in the last session we have discussed dictionaries and basic operations on dictionaries. In today's session we will discuss global variables in Python. Global variables are variables which are accessible throughout the program. So let's study about global variables. Variables that are created outside of a function are known as global variables in Python. So as in C, the variables which are declared outside the main are called as global variables. Similar in Python, the variables which are declared outside the function are said to be global variables and which are accessible throughout the program. Global variables can be used by everyone, both inside of functions and outside. So global variables can be used even inside a function and outside the function. So let us look at one example how a global variable can be created in Python. So this example, create a variable outside a function and use it inside the function. So if you look at this program, we have a variable x having value awesome, which is declared outside the function. So this x, it is a global variable. Then we have a function def myfunc. This is the function name, and inside the function we are printing Python is, and we are printing the value of x. Now if you look at the function, there is no variable x declared inside the function, but the variable is declared outside the function, and as it is a global variable, this variable is accessible even inside a function. So we have used we are printing x here, and then we are calling a function myfunction, and once we call a function, the function is executed and it will print Python is the value of x is awesome. So the output of this is Python is awesome. So this is how we can declare a global variable in Python, and as I've said, it can be used even inside a function. Okay, suppose if we say the same variable x, if we define inside the function, so there will be two variables, one which is outside the function and one which is inside the function. So what will happen? Let's see. If you create a variable with the same name inside the function, this variable will be local, and that variable will be local to the function and can be only used inside the function. The global variable with the same name will remain as it was global and with original value. So if you have two variables, one declared outside the function and one which is declared inside the function, both having the same name, then in that case the function the variable which is declared inside the function, it is local variable, and the variable declared outside the function, it is global. The local variables can be used only inside the function, it cannot be used outside the function. So let us see. So create a variable inside the function with the same name as global variable. So we have a global variable here, x is equals to awesome, and in the function we have again defined the same variable x with a value fantastic. Now you may say both variables are same, or you may say we are changing the value of x, global variable x, from inside the function, but that is wrong. Here both the variables are different variables. So this x is different and this x is different. So this x which is defined inside the function, it is called as local variable, which is local to the function. And when we print the variable, the value of x, it will always consider the local variable first. Then it goes to global variable. If there is no local variable with a name, then it checks for a global variable. So in this case, if I print, it will print Python is fantastic, not Python is awesome. Okay, so we have a function called here which calls the function, and in this case it will print Python is fantastic. But if I say print Python is x, now this statement, it is outside the function, remember. And when you are outside the function and when we are printing x, so outside the function we can only access the global variable. So this is our global variable having value awesome. From outside the function we cannot directly access the local variables. So this x is local to the function, cannot be accessed outside the function. So when I say Python is and we print the value of x, it will take the value of global variable awesome. And if you look at the output of this program, it is first it will print Python is fantastic when we call my function, and then when I say print the value of x, that it will display Python is awesome. So this is how we can create a local variable having similar name or same name as a global variable, but which are treated differently. Okay, let me execute and show you the output of this program. Let me copy this. Let us open idle. Create a new file. Okay, this is a code. The function. So this is a local variable. Then we have a statement inside the function. We are printing the value of x. Then we have a function call outside, and then we have one more print statement which is outside the function. So let's save. Okay, program is saved. Let us execute. You can see the output. It is printing Python is fantastic and Python is awesome. So we can have two variables having same name but declared in different scope. One is declared in global scope, another is declared in local scope. Now we know that the variable which is declared inside the function is local variable. Now, is it possible to create a global variable from inside the function? And the answer for this is yes, we can create a global variable even from inside the function, but for that we have to use a keyword. The keyword is global keyword. So let's see. Normally when you create a variable inside a function, that variable is local and can only be used inside that function. Now to create a global variable inside a function, you can use global keyword. So let us look at one example here. So we have a function here. Inside the function, how we have created a global variable, how you can see. The variable x is declared with a keyword global that makes x as global variable. Even though it is declared inside the function, the x is considered as global. Then we have assigned x with a value, fantastic. Then we have called the function, that is my function, which will simply execute this, and once it executes, it creates a global variable, stores the value. And you can see by using a print statement, print Python is, we are printing the value of x. From outside the function we are trying to access x, remember, and even though we are able to print the value of x because x is global. If we remove this global keyword from here, we cannot access x outside the function. So by using global keyword, we can access the global variables, we can create the global variables even from inside the function. So now one more use of global keyword, it is use the global keyword if you want to change the global variable inside a function. So even it is possible to change the value of a global variable from inside the function, and that is with the help of global keyword. We cannot directly change the value of global variable from inside the function. If we try to change the value of a global variable from inside the function, that will be considered as a local variable in the function. That is the reason we have this keyword global, by using which we can change the value of a global variable. So look at this example. So we have variable x which is declared outside the function, so it is a global variable having value awesome. Then in the function my function, we have declared global x. We are trying to declare a global variable x, but as x already exists, this x simply points to this x which is defined in the global scope. So we can have only one variable in the global scope having same name. So this x is the same as we have declared in the global area. Then when I say x is equals to fantastic, so this will change the original value of x which was awesome, now it is fantastic. So when I say my function, so this function will be executed and the value of x is changed, and when you print Pythoners and when you print the value of x, it will not print awesome but fantastic. You can see it will print fantastic because we have changed the value of the global variable from inside the function. Okay, let me again execute this and show it to you. Okay, let me make changes in the earlier program itself. We have x in the my function. We are assigning x is equals to fantastic, the earlier example which we have seen. In this case, when I print x from outside the function, it was printing awesome, because when I say x is equals to fantastic, this will not change the value of global x, but it will create a local x differently. But suppose I don't want to create a local x from inside the function, but I want to declare, I want to access the global x itself. I want to change the value of global x from inside the function. For that, what I have to do is I have to declare here global, then x. So x we have declared as global, so we already have a x in the global scope, so both this x also points to the same x. And now if you see, earlier this outside the print statement, outside the function, it was printing awesome, but now if you see, even this print statement will print the value that is fantastic, because we have changed the global value from inside the function. So let me execute this. You can see the output. Python is fantastic, Python is fantastic. Earlier output also you can verify here. Python is fantastic and awesome it was printing, because in that case it was two different variables, one local and global. But in the next example, from inside the function we have accessed the global variable. So this is how global variables can be used in Python. So we can declare global variables outside the function, and even global keyword can be used to declare a global variable from inside the function, or global variable can be used to access the global variables from inside the function. Okay, that's it for today's session. We will stop here. Thank you.